So I've been playing the game for about 24 hours now in total. And I'm going to tell you all about what I think about it, why I've enjoyed it, and why I think you can enjoy it as well if you haven't played it. Maybe you're a new player, maybe you're like thinking about buying the game, or maybe you're an old school or veteran player who have played it a lot and just want to hear a newbie's perspective, or maybe you're one of the game developers wanting to hear a new player's perspective on a game. So what I really liked about Rimworld, or let me tell you about what kind of a game it is first. So Rimworld is basically, in my view, or from my perspective so far, a base builder game where you have a colony of survivors on a planet far, far away in the rim of the universe, like in the outside, far in the outside of the universe, far into the future. And they are trying to survive in some sort of biome that you can choose. And I chose to do it in a biome which is more or less a forest with a weather very similar to the weather in the Nordics, where I'm from, or let's say the very northern or very southern hemisphere of Earth. So like freezing cold winters and somewhat temperate summers. And then you strive to survive. And there are certain threats. But first of all, you need to figure out food. So you can go hunting, you can do farming. That's the immediate thing. You can gather resources to build a roof over your head. But then there are also threats. So you can be attacked by animals. That happens a little now and then. You can be attacked by raiders from other tribes or colonies coming to raid you. And you can also be infected by diseases or stuff like that. And then you need medicine, and you need someone within your tribe to tend to the person and so on. So basically, to me, the game so far has been about survival. And then whenever you have the base needs, so you have the food, you have the roof over your head, and you have the safety. That's when you can work on expanding your base and making the moods of the colonists a bit better, so you can make the area nice. So one mechanic of the game that I really like is that the mood of your colonists is super important. Like if your colonists are in a bad mood because it's dirty or they had to eat the raw food or something else, that's going to impact them a lot, and it can be very expensive or disastrous for you. In worst case, it can cause you to lose people, because if they feel bad enough, they're going to go into a tantrum, and then you can't control them anymore, and they just go around destroying stuff. And you can imprison them with the other colonists, but then they will be useless for you for a while. Worst case, so something that happened to me in my playthrough, was that one of my colonists got into a tantrum while I had taken a prisoner from a raiding tribe. And that person in a tantrum then released my prisoner, so she escaped and left the map, so we couldn't get hold of her. So that was pretty bad. Or they can get into a bad mood and like start insulting other people, and that reduces their mood, and you just don't want to be in a place where your colonists are in a bad mood. So that's like the next thing in the hierarchy of needs. When you have the food and the security and the roof, the next thing is to make the atmosphere nice, let them sleep in a nice temperature, give them some art, make them create art, and then expand the base, increase the wealth of the base, and so on. And that's about how far I have come right now. So after 24 hours of playing, I'm still in the same save, still same. Like I did the tutorial of the game and then I just continued playing with one of the storytellers in the game called Cassandra and on adventure mode. And that is another thing about the game that is pretty cool, that you can actually decide yourself who do you want to be your storyteller. And they have a different, so the storyteller basically is the person or the AI, or let's call it the person that decides the events that are going to happen to you. So they decide when a disease comes, they decide when you get raided, I believe. And all of these kind of threats, or also, I guess, positive events that can randomly happen. That's the storyteller that you pick. So you can pick a storyteller that is very friendly and you can focus on just building the base. Or you can, if you want to, if that's your style or that's something you want to experiment with, you can also go pretty hardcore and have like super threatening environment. It's up to you. Like you can choose that for yourself, and that's something I also enjoy. It feels a lot like a sandbox game. You have some colonies, you're trying to survive. You can build infrastructure, electricity, heating, a farm, indoor farming, build a nice place for your inhabitants. You can make the game into whatever you want. So yeah, after 24 hours so far, I am enjoying the game a lot. It's a lot of up and downs in the colony, with like some situations where we have been really, really close to everyone dying off, and periods of stability where it's like, okay, we have our basic needs covered. Let's focus on building out and growing the colony, increase the luxury and the wealth in the colony, and then back to survival mode, and then back up again. So that is super interesting. It's very unpredictable in that sense. And one thing that I really, really enjoyed was that, and that I was surprised about, I didn't expect that, is that I've become quite emotionally attached to some of the characters. So in one of the events where some of the colonists passed away, I got a bit sad because one of the colonists, her name was Lumi. She had been the giant whose shoulders the whole colony was standing on. She was the constructor. It was thanks to her that we were able to get wind power, batteries, some really key technology that made us survive the winter. She was the most stable one that could take care of the others when they went into tantrums. And she was solid and she was a hero of that colony. And then unfortunately, she passed away, and that made me a bit sad. It was due to a lynx attack. So a lynx got mad while two of the colonists were out working on expanding the base, and it killed both of them. We couldn't save them. Yeah. So rest in peace, Lumi. You will be remembered. So yeah, it's been a great experience so far. I think if you think this sounds interesting, you should definitely try it out. It's like planning, surviving, and like a sandbox environment where you can just play and have fun. And I think there are endless combinations of configurations that you can make this game have. So you can play it for thousands and thousands of hours, I believe, if this is your type of game. And before I close, I also want to say that one thing I really, really liked about this game, and something in general that I believe is important for games, is that the community has been really, really good. It's been a very kind and welcoming community. I've been streaming all of my gaming sessions on this game, and people are coming in, being helpful, not backseating, but like, hey, think about this, think about that, check out these mods if you want. It's been a really, really cool community to get to know, and that is definitely a big plus. So yeah, with that said, I would definitely recommend this game if this is something you think sounds interesting. Try it out and let me know what you think in the comments below. And also, I am posting this, so like I have a series here on the channel, so I post my game sessions, 40-minute episodes, trying to document the whole journey of my first colony. And let's see, it's still going strong, but we'll see. I anticipate at some point there will be a second colony, so maybe I will post that journey as well. So if you want to follow that and check that out, please, you can hit the subscribe button, and I will see you around here on the channel. Thank you so much for listening and making it all the way through to the end. See you next time.